As of late, I've made content around brass knuckles. I've made content around plastic knuckles. But what about wooden knuckles? Well, that's what this video is going to be for. Stick around. It's been a lot of fun as of late creating videos around the subject of brass knuckles and even talking about plastic knuckles, because you get a lot of different opinions on these things. Whether you're using brass or whether you're using plastic or even wooden knuckles, they can be a very formidable equalizer, and they can be designed in all sorts of different ways. And the wooden knuckles that I want to put on display in this video have a very unique design. These are the Gorilla Knucks from the Italian Gorilla, Jimmy G. These things are super bad. Most of his work is done out on Instagram, and that is the name of his Instagram page. Now, they do have some size to them, and they will take up a lot of room in your pocket, but they are built for you to strike in a number of ways. Certainly, you know, all of this is in the context of self-defense and not just getting in some argument or street brawl with somebody, because if you use something like this in that situation, you're going to have a bad day in court. And I'm pretty sure you know that. I hope you do, at least. I really don't know about the legalities of being able to carry something like wooden knuckles. You'd have to check that out for yourself. But I do know something like wooden knucks are not going to have the same restrictions as brass. Nevertheless, I'm sure there are some restrictions. If you ever had to use something like this, it's going to come down to the context of the situation anyway. Now, the way these are built really reinforce the importance of holding the knucks this way and not trying to ride them all the way up. You don't want to do that, because when you crash into something, it's just going to bang into the top of your finger. Wear them just like this right here. This wide surface allows for a number of strikes. You've got some surface area here to work with as well as here. This area covers a lot of surface, but it's a very thin, concentrated area. Let's take a look at some straight shots. You can imagine what a shot to the trachea would be like, just setting it up, and this entire area is covered, and it's this very small concentrated force coming into that area. The bridge of the nose, come across the mouth, or right into the nose, and it's going to hurt. You can throw a lot of power with this, but you don't even need full power to be effective and to hurt the assailant. It's the same if you're coming in with a hook. Look at that area that you cover and how concentrated of an area it is. Into the jaw, to the ear, or you could strike to the ear. Imagine this coming into the ear. Devastating. Right in here, behind the jaw, this area right behind the jaw. You could come in this way with this corner, also under the jaw, behind the ear. Hammer strikes, boom, here to the eye, anywhere to the face. It's just a very, very versatile tool. And it does come with this lanyard. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I'll have to take this off, though, to be able to use it. I also wanted to show you the jimping that you have right here as well. Just like the plastic knuckles from No Metal Knucks that I talked about recently, these also are very light. They're going to be less restricted, less regulated, and you can slip these right in a back pocket. You can come right into the solar plexus. Back fist to the eye, trachea strike, flat hand to the face, hammer strike to the ear. You could even utilize this heavily with your lead hand with this striking zone here if you wanted to free up your dominant hand. Quick jabs, flat hands. A lot of different things you can do with these if you get creative. Hook with this side here, come back with a backhand to the eye, and then straight into the face this way. And even if we don't talk about all the pretty techniques, sometimes it's just a matter of bang, bang, getting in there and striking until you are free. Because a lot of times we rely too much on one pretty combination, when sometimes in the real world, it's just a matter of getting in there with dirty boxing, bang, hitting those vitals, and getting away. I know I talked about, having an option of putting this on your lead hand if you wanted to free up your main hand, but also too, think about this. You have this option, and also the ability to throw like a ridge hand with this surface area here, a lot of force to that temple. So these Gorilla Knucks are pretty cool, really nice looking work from Jimmy G. Great design, and no metal detector is going to pick these up. I just wanted to give you an in-depth look at his craftsmanship here, and I think it's well thought out and a great self-defense option. And that's what these things are, an option. And when it comes to self-defense, you have to work with what you're drawn towards and what you're willing to train with and what you're willing to even carry. I'll drop a link in the description for you to get in touch with him if you want to pick up one of these. A lot of people find the discussion of carrying knuckles or using something like this in self-defense to be an outlandish thing, but that doesn't change the fact that a lot of people love these things and a lot of people carry them. I personally find it very interesting to look at a lot of these different kinds of things and talk about the thought process behind the design. These are also very solid. They're not going to break very easily. And obviously you can design wooden knuckles in all sorts of ways. But I believe Jimmy G did a good job on these. What are your thoughts on wooden knuckles? What are your thoughts on these? I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Take care.